Okay. Akanksha, should I begin now? It's 11:05 or 11:06 something.
Yeah, I think it's good to go. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, guys, and welcome to one of its kind coaching conversations infused with tarot. And it's important to show up, especially on the weekend when we have our weekend plans lined up. So, would really love to know what brings you to the session. If you could put it in the chat, if you could turn on the video, because my tarot cards would also like to see some happy faces across the world. And a quick introduction about myself. So, here you go. So I come with over 10 years of experience in marketing and HR, and it has been a jungle gym sort of experience for me. And in that journey, I started to infuse tarot insights in the coaching conversations, which helped a lot of people, not just me, in a wholesome way. So I thought maybe this would be a good time to do a session and see what more creative methodologies we all as a coach or thought leaders or HR professionals could bring in to spark some inner dialogue. So let the magic begin. Uh, while I know this is something unique and one of a kind and not many people have experienced, so I just also thought that I'll put out some experiences of people who have undergone this experience with me, somebody from Bangalore, Jaipur, Delhi, and Mumbai. So one of the common things that came out was that one, lot of self-awareness and personal growth kind of conversation happened through tarot. And they were not expecting that this would really help them in a different way. So I just thought I'll put out some reviews over here. And before I kind of begin fully, I also wanted to understand, like, if at all you know what tarot is, give a thumbs up as a reaction. If at all you don't know what a tarot is or how it works, just put out a heart emoji as a reaction. Let's see how many hearts and let's see how many thumbs up come. So Vanita has given a thumbs up. How many more hearts or thumbs up? Okay, Renu has Saurabh thumbs up. Okay. Oh, Patricia has. Nice. So great to see that a couple of people who already know what tarot is and few people who don't know what tarot is. This will really help you guys in understanding how this is one of the creative approach that I have been using. And we all have different mechanism as a coach to kind of induce some or the other self-growth conversation. So let's begin. Okay, a trivia thing, just to give a slice or the flavor. So today is 18th, right? What does this card tell you? Put out your responses in the chat. When you see this card, what do you see? Okay. Full moon, solitude. Okay. More responses. Okay. Nilima said full moon. Aspiration. Oh, nice. Striving, learning. What more? Deceiving as there is a Scorpio. Okay. Nice. How we respond to moon. Okay. More responses. Anybody would like to unmute or share what it is? Okay. Reprimanding sun power. Interesting. Have a rest at end of the day. Thanks, Patricia. So today being the 18 and the major arcana card, so tarot, a quick background about tarot. So it started off in Italy, or majorly kind of a debate whether it was in Europe or Egypt. It started off as a playing card, and over the course of time people also started to use this as a tool of self growth, personal growth, and introspection. Yes, a form of divination as well. So through this session, maybe you will get some of the other takeaways or one thing that you can take back, how you could introduce a creative approach in your coaching session. So now let's see what this card is talking about, the moon card. Okay. So one, this card is also about intuition and emotions. Moon being uh, an element of feminine energy in totality and brings creative aspects, a feminine approach, and water being the major component in our body is full of emotions. So this talks of intuitions and emotions, how we are more emotionally, how we are channelizing our own emotions, then addressing our own shadow self, right? In the coaching sessions, we also address what is stopping us to move ahead, what is really blocking us, or the challenges that we can foresee. Also confronting the subconscious mind, because it's an inner dialogue, right? So how we could really use the conversation or these mechanisms to spark in some or the other introspection ways, and overcoming fears, because I'm pretty sure that many a times you would have seen people are not ready, they don't want to take the leap, or ready for the plunge. So the moon card, which is the number 18 in today's date, is all about tapping into your own intuition, the subconscious mind, overcoming the fears. So how is it sitting with you guys? Any thoughts? Does it sort of resonate? Yes, no, thumbs up. Any emotions? Any reactions? Would anybody like to unmute and share? Okay, Punita says have to introspect. Okay. Saurabh, you mentioned that you know what tarot is all about. Would you like to share some thoughts around it?
So I couldn't relate to the connection between the date and this card, honestly.
Okay, okay. So the moon, okay, in tarot, there are 72 cards and the major arcana cards are 22. So the number 18 in the tarot card is the moon card. If you could see the Roman numerical over here, the 18 card is the moon, which is today's date. So what does this card speak to you, or where do you sit with this card? So this is what the overall essence about the card is, wherein it will be subjective for you or for Patricia or for Renu.
Right, right. So I think the part of the card which is drawing my attention is the Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying
Okay.
to come out of the water. So maybe it's the moon's energy is doing something, it's activating some forces which were under the surface and now they are coming out of the surface and becoming visible
Right,
because of the
right.
moon. That's what I'm getting just from this visual.
No, interestingly, because moon is also about a feminine side. Moon uh induces in a lot of creativity, and water being the major component, we full of emotions, right? So moon is also about that element, bringing into that. So tapping into the intuition and subconscious mind, one of the things. So this is what I thought I'll start off with the mini trivia. And now, if it all, okay. Can you all scan this QR code quickly and maybe answer this question? When you first heard about this session, what was the first thought that came to your mind? Just quickly scan this QR code and I will pull in the live responses on Mentimeter. Just give me a second. I hope it is visible. You could also alternatively use the code 11792668. What sparked your curiosity about this topic? Okay.
Can you show the code again, because it was too quick? I didn't manage to scan
Okay.
it.
Vanja, you could also just type menti.com and use the code, which is 11792668. What more? We have got over 25 people. So what more came to you when you heard about this session? Okay, photo language, interesting.
Can you type the code, please?
Sure, I'll just give me a second. I'll type the code. Divination, it's a new concept, okay. What more? Understand people and okay. Archetypes, nice. Absolutely. We all have our own unique archetypes based on the tarot, a power card. So yes, interesting things coming up. New perspectives, yes, definitely. Okay, so this is what kind of intrigued you to log in. Now, like I mentioned, this is one of the creative ways, and we all have our own unique methods, right? So you will also see the next question, which is what tool or approach do you use to spark self-awareness in coaching? Let's see what all comes in. And the code remains the same, which is 11792668. Metaphors. Okay. Other cards. Zoom out images, psychometric journaling, nice. Storytelling tarot, interesting. Breathwork, metaphor. So are you kind of noticing or observing something that we all have our own unique approaches and how we use these techniques to enable our coaches to go on an inner journey or reflect? Mindfulness practice is great. So all of these things, when it came up, I also realized that tarot is one mechanism which I have been doing for over a decade now, close to 12 years, and many people have benefited. So yes, thank you so much for sharing. What tool or approach do you guys use? Now, are you guys up for a live experience for the coaching session? Just give a quick thumbs up or unmute yourself. Are you
Totally ready.
great? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now let the magic begin. So for this one, I would really need 1 or 2 volunteers in the end. So yes, so for this one, just think of a situation or any area that you would really like to address in this conversation or in this session. Write it down or just think about it. And I will pull out 3 cards in totality for each slide, and then you could let the thought sink over to you. So here are my tarot cards, and I will pull out a card wherein we all will reflect together for your own individual situations or the areas that you would like to address. So, and I will show live wherein you all can see. Okay. Can you all see the card?
No,
Okay. What comes to your mind?
you can't
How
see the
does-
card.
Card is not visible.
Okay.
No, it's not clear.
Okay, it's not clear. Let me remove the background for a second. Just give me a second.
Maybe you can take a picture and put it up or something like that. I don't know.
No, maybe you can stop sharing and then put it in so we can see it.
Okay, I'll just remove the background. It might be possible. Just give me a second. Are you
And
now able
that's-
to see?
Yes,
Great,
better.
great. So what comes to your mind when you see this card? And how does it relate to you in your current situation or a goal?
Sorry, Ruchika, to interrupt you. Can you just put spotlight on yourself rather than on the
Okay.
screen? Because then this is not
Okay.
visible really.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope this is visible now. Write down any potential challenges or feelings or thoughts around this card. Just reflect on it. And let me know whenever you would want me to move to the next one. Shall I move to the next card?
Sorry, can I suggest that you take off screen sharing because a large part of the screen is occupied by your
Okay.
slide.
Yes.
And then
Better?
if you could Then if you could put spotlight on yourself by right-clicking, that
Oh.
would see you like in a speaker's view. Apologies, but that'll help really connect with the cards.
No, that's
It's
completely
a good
fine.
idea.
I think I've already put the spotlight because it shows remove spotlight. So I've already put, but let me do it again.
No,
And
this is good.
No,
This
this is
good.
fine.
Okay.
This is fine.
Okay,
This is
And
good.
what are we expected to do since I've never done tarot before?
Okay, so whatever thoughts or feelings come to your mind through this card, how does it relate to you in the particular situation you want to address? Any challenges or potential blockers that is not making you move ahead? So just write down your thoughts and feelings around it.
Thanks.
What is this card is called as?
So this is Two of Wands, and I will help with the introspection later once we have one or two volunteers. So a quick background, Two of Wands. Wands is a fire element specifically. Everybody who is a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarian, and Leo. So this is Two of Wands card. Should I move to the next slide?
Yes.
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, the next one is reimagine. I'll pull out a card. If I'll share the screen, then again the card would go. So the reimagine is all about, you know, the situation now, you know the potential challenges or something that is stopping you. Reimagine how you would like to flip the situation and how your challenges could be opportunities. So the next card is all about reimagining. Again, a Wands card. 8 of Wands. So how this card is helping you address your situation? What stands out to you? Okay, reflect deeper. Thanks, Vinay. And again, this is a Wands card, which is all about energy and fire. Also potential burnout. Should I move to the next one? Moving forward full speed, step-by-step milestones, okay? Should I move ahead, guys?
It's
Yeah.
fine with me.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Yes, Ruchika, you can.
Great. Now the last one is recreate, which is about creating a narrative of creating another situation or a new reality for yourself. So now let's see what comes out for everybody. Okay, a major arcana card, which is the Chariot. Now craft a narrative on addressing this whole situation. You know what needs to be done. It's about action now. Go and conquer, okay. Now, who would like to volunteer to share their narrative? Can we have a volunteer, one or two?
You can volunteer if nobody else is. All right, great. Hi, I'm Vanita, and I have a situation with my daughter that is going on at the moment, where I need to confront it or face it, and I was in two minds, because I know it'll hurt her, but yeah, if it's not hurting her, it's hurting me. So I was just sitting on it till I get my answers. That how should my approach be? So I kind of wrote in the first card that what thoughts came to my mind was that fighter. I have to face it. I have to, but you can then when you showed the card and you explained about it. So I said, okay, I think in my approach I can offer peace because I have good intentions. But I do see a snake on her side of the hand. So so I was not too sure uh, whether she'll accept it or not accept it. But anyway, that was the thought behind it. Then in the second card, you said flip the situation. So when you showed 8 of Wands, I said, okay, why only look at it at one single way? Why should the thought be just one-sided? Like, I have a lot of opportunities and a lot of approaches that I can take to address this issue. And at the end of it, I do see there is water and clouds. So it'll settle down. It is offering peace. So it cannot go very bad. And the third card, when you say create a new reality, the time to take action, I saw light and dark both. And I saw there is time to take action, but there should also be acceptance. Because if I am willing to face it, and I'm calling her out to face the situation too, so we both need to accept it. So, it can go either ways. So we both will perhaps get insights out of it. So I don't know. This
So-
was my thought process.
How does the overall narrative fit with you? How does it sits with you?
Yeah, at least I was not ready to take action first. Now I think I'll go with an open mind to accept whatever comes to me.
Okay. I'll let you park this thought. Would anybody else like to volunteer and share their narrative or a situation?
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinita. Anybody else?
Ruchika, this is Anita. May I try?
Absolutely, please.
Yeah, so the reflection was basically I'm trying to move ahead in a certain area of my life where I have goals, but I don't know, something is stopping me. So I think with the Two of Wands, it felt like the person is looking at like a crystal ball. To me, it felt like, maybe a bit of overthinking is happening. So do I want to reduce that? In the second one, when I flipped the situation, um, yeah, what direction do I want to take? Because keeping quiet is taking me in the reverse direction. So, and I don't know, for some strange reason, like, way back when they used to do this Ramayana Mahabharata of B.R. Chopra, and those the arrows used to fly. So somehow that vision came to my mind. And yeah, so I felt like if you're sure about the direction, then don't you want to move at big speed? And then the chariot seemed to confirm it that, okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? Uh, Sit on the chariot and see where it goes, because either I'll get results or I'll get lessons. And both should hold me good in the long run. So yeah, that's what I felt.
Okay. So how is it relatable? How are you seeing this overall?
I don't know if normally if I would have thought, I would have thought the same way.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Does it sort of resonate with you in the current scheme of things?
Honestly, I'm still thinking, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Before I kind of share the perspective of how these tarot cards can relate more, anybody else would like to put in their responses in the chat? Anything that stood out to them through cards? Any particular element? I will share the pictures again one last time.
I can try, Ruchika.
Sure.
So the scenario that I'm dealing with is everything makes me angry right now. And when I saw the first card, what came up for me was that while there is darkness, there is light as well. And somehow that initially you were holding it like this, and that thing on the corner was not very clear. I just had that sense that there's something good there. So that was another feeling that, okay, there is good available for me to access. I also, I kind of already started feeling with that picture that, what I want is within my reach. I have to maybe do something. I have to figure out how to get to it. And when you showed the second picture, the reimagine, sorry about that. The reimagine, you know, somehow to me that looked like steps that I need to take, you know, mini steps, and that is what I need in this moment. So to get what I want. That was what that second picture brought up for me. The third one, you know, on the one side it was saying action, on the other side, I mean, there are two colors, horses, and for me that was even the dark, both the dark and the light are resources for me, and I can use both to get to what I want.
Great.
That's what
Thanks
stood
so
out for
much.
me.
Did you all notice that how same card had different connotations when we all kind of stepped back, and each card kind of stood out in a different way. So with everybody's permission, now I'll help in creating that narrative also. So the first card was all about reflect on your situation. What is it that is kind of stopping you, or potential challenges on the way? So Two of Wands is also about seeing things from a long-term perspective. So in your current scheme of things, are you fixating on the short-term outcomes, or you are thinking about the long-term approach? So that is one major piece. So whoever said, Vanita, I think you mentioned that you were kind of facing a challenge with your daughter. So are you seeing the situation just from a short-term approach or a long-term scheme of things? So that is one thing.
Yeah,
The other bit
very true.
also, sorry?
Very true. I was looking at it short term.
The other bit also is that it's a dual energy. Two is all about union and partnership. So in your situation, your partner in this case is your daughter. So how are you approaching this with your daughter? How is she approaching you? Are you seeing this as the same challenge? The challenge could be different. So this card is all about seeing things from long-term perspective. The dual energy is coming into picture. Also a transition or a travel that could also help you in kind of clearing anybody's head or your head or whoever is kind of facing the situation. So this card was all about reflecting on the situation, identifying the challenges. Now how does it sit with everybody? Does it sort of resonate? Any thoughts? You could put it in the chat, or an emoji on thumbs up, heart. Any thoughts around it? Okay, somebody did mention. Okay, I prefer in the chat. Okay. Okay. I have to choose, not easy between. Okay. Okay, great. Thanks, Patricia. So now coming to the next card, which was also about reimagine. So flipping the situation in your own favor or make it like a win-win. So if you notice that everything is so swift here, right? The wands are moving and you could see a lot of fast approaches seeing, and it is also leading to a lot of burnout. So are you taking mini breaks? Are you stopping to analyze as well? That is one bit. If at all you have been sitting on any decision, then maybe this card is coming as a reminder to take action, move fast quickly before things get late. So now with the whole situation of reimagining, somebody did mention about not able to take action, and with this card, action is also coming up. So everything related to action. Put your thoughts into picture, write down the action points, write down small steps that you will take. So since this is a wands card, 8 of Wands, wand is also about fire element, which is lot of energy and passion. So maybe it would also be a good idea to go deep within to see what sparks your passion, how you could relate to that. So reimagine the whole situation in your own way. Now, how does that sit with you all? Because it's the same card with different connotations that we all had. The last one, which is recreate. So who all has followed Mahabharata mythology? chariot or charioteer in this case plays a very, very important role. So in Mahabharata, Lord Krishna was the charioteer for Arjun. And this card is also about balancing the two energies within us, either yin yang, feminine, masculine side, logic or heart. When we are slightly all over the place, can we have somebody who can help us in seeing the situation from a different perspective, a different lens? Which lens are you seeing the situation from? So recreate the whole situation with the help of somebody. So this person, an old man, could also be you in this case, seeing the situation from a mountain and approaching it in a different manner. Now, balancing your own energies, taking charge of situation, taking that mini risk. Even if you're not ready to take the big risk, take the small step. Now, how does this card sit with you? So putting all the cards together, does this sort of resonate? The first one is this, this one. The second one is Eight of Wands, and the third one is Chariot. How does it relate to you? Anybody would like to unmute or share their thoughts?
Yeah, I think it gave me my answers. I'm sorry I took the chance to speak
no
up
way.
first. So yeah, I think I got my answers. Gave me instant result, and quick reflection, and I kind of know now what to do. And I've been doodling on it and brooding on it for last 1 week.
Okay.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Vanita. Amita, you shared your situation as well. Now, how does that sit with you? Or anybody? Surely, yes, it's all about context, yes.
Yeah, brilliantly actually, because that taking that, so I was wondering what to do. So now probably immediately I'm realizing what that small risk step can be.
Okay.
And I will take that step. Yeah.
Okay. And I
That
think
part-
Shirley mentioned, sorry.
No, that part resonated the most to me. Yeah.
Okay. And Shirley did mention it is also all about the context. And I also had another person who shared a perspective, right? So whoever didn't share any perspective, would you like to craft a narrative now and share what has been your key takeaway from this mini unique creative tool? Would anybody like to share? Saurabh, would you like to unmute and share your views if you are still here?
I'm here, very much here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would you like to
I
share your
think,
thoughts?
yes. Somehow my camera is all black. Is it?
Not,
Okay.
I'm not able to see, but no.
Yeah, I don't know, something wrong with the camera. Anyway, I think intuition plays an important role here. So the real value of tarot is that, you can interpret it in any way, but what is the coach's intuition saying about what the client told them about their situation? And can the coach make the client look at something in the card or look at their situation differently through the card? But again, their intuition is going to play an important role.
Absolutely.
Because as I said, interpreted in so many ways, but you have to move in only one direction, the stated objective or the stated problem by the client.
Got it.
Yeah.
And whatever situation you had, did it sort of resonate with you? What was the key takeaway?
No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't follow that.
Okay.
I was too intellectually involved in hearing what everyone is saying and what's happening. So I
Okay.
didn't get involved personally like that. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I think at times we also connect the dots to other people's observations. So that also plays a vital role.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody who kind of volunteered. Now I have another a group activity wherein for the next week, I'll pull out a card and whatever first thing that comes to your mind, one key takeaway from that card, we'll put it in the chat or unmute. Are you guys up for that mini activity? And see how does that sit with you? Just give a quick thumbs up, unmute, or just share an emoji. Okay, thanks, Vanita. Patricia, Priya, are you all up? Okay, let's kind of go with that. Thank you, Shirley. One image with worth 1,000 words. I think that will be my key takeaway. So let us all put in the intent to receive or see a card for the next week and reflect on it. What could be the message for everybody for the next week's goal? So I'll just pull out one card. I hope it doesn't turn out to be Bond card again. But yeah, it is, but this is the card. It is King of Wands.
Can you please show it without the presentation slide?
Yes.
Like,
How does this card relate to you for your next week? What all can you see?
To me, it seems like he's gonna start a new journey, like he is ready to go in his path. I don't, he doesn't know what is coming up, but it seems like he's pretty ready.
Okay.
I'm ready to go in some kind of
Absolutely. Slay Monday. Slay the next week. Slay the Monday.
Exactly.
Okay,
I
and
think
Retain power.
I think he's unique. He's on a journey and he's already walking. He's got help with him, and you know, it's going to be I don't know, how do you put green or, you know, fruitful. There may be changes, but he's on a path, and I think he should just keep walking.
Okay. So a lot of things are coming up wherein Saurabh mentioned new leaves coming up, signifying new beginnings, determination, conquering, discipline, taking ownership. Now, I think Shirley did mention that one image in 1,000 words or 1,000 connotations. So what all you can see? And does this sort of resonate with you? Okay, we have wear your armor, take charge, and take help. Interestingly, Sunanda, you mentioned take help, which we don't take it as a sign of strength. We kind of think that taking help is for weak, but thank you so much for calling it out. Now, this card is also about leadership, the charisma. This person is owning up the day or the week or the whole situation. So the card is talking about, are you owning up or the day is owning you? Are you kind of conquering your goals, or you kind of letting it pass, or you are not focusing on them? In this whole pursuit, are you taking care of yourself as well? Because the wand is about lot of energy. We don't take breaks. We don't focus on our own well-being. So are you also in between taking breaks to ponder over it, to ponder over what more you can do? So this card is also about taking charge of the whole situation, one, owning it, and during the situations when you are seeing disagreements happening, are you being charismatic? Are you taking charge of the situation as a leader, or you're putting your own biases or agenda in place? So now, how does that card sit with you? Thank you, Patricia, for mentioning you're responsible for your own destiny. Okay. Any thoughts around the cards?
It's interesting that we are seeing so many wands in this one session. So I'd love to hear from you what you think that represents. I'm connecting it back to the very first card that you picked up, and in my own mind, in the situation that I'm kind of dealing with, I thought that the Two of Wands had signified, an earnestness, preparing for a journey, and it's sort of with the King of Wands, it comes to a culmination of that, a determined approach towards where you want to go, kind of seizing the day, like you said, focus and determination, and also the new shoots are symbolic of some signs of success that you're seeing, small signs of success. So I hadn't really connected very deeply with the previous three cards for my own situation, but now with this one, I'm going to go back and reflect on what this whole series means. And also, of course, like I said, what does drawing up so much wands energy mean?
Wands. Yeah, so I'll put out the cards name. So you all could also look up Two of Wands, Eight of Wands, Chariot, and then we had King of Wands. So answering your question, so you did mention why so many wands we are seeing. So one, I think it's a question for everybody, or a thought that we showed up on a Saturday morning, we showed up on a weekend, so we all were pumped up, we had some or the other passion or the energy to show up. So it's sort of a reflection of what we feel or what our subconscious mind is also wanting to invite. It just shows up. So many wands is also about energy, that we all are exchanging our thoughts, exchanging the vibes, and energy is also playing a huge role. Now, does that sort of resonate with you?
Yes, Ruchika, it does.
Okay. So this was all about Two of Wands, and why so many wands are coming up. Now, I would really like to have one key takeaway from you guys. What is it that you could take away from this session? And if at all anybody could unmute yourself or could share their perspective before we kind of wrap up.
Ruchika, while
Mhm.
everybody reflects on that, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, how do we integrate this in coaching and not let it become a tarot reading session?
My question too.
Okay. Thank you so much for asking this question. And I think as a coach, it's also important to realize that it's not our own agenda to do the tarot reading, wherein we are just sharing the guidance and not letting other person do the introspection. So I think first we need to center our energies and step away from the tarot card readers place, and put ourselves or wear the coaching hat. That is point one. Two, I would also say that in my coaching interventions through tarot, I use it as like 30-40% of mechanism and not the whole thing, because then it defeats the purpose of the inner dialogue, or asking very reflective questions. So this is just one of the way wherein I kind of induce it, but it doesn't take the limelight of asking the questions. So I hope that answers your question, that not making it a full tarot reading session.
Thanks, but how do you, so I would be interested in knowing, how do you present this to the client? Because, if the client is familiar with tarot, or even otherwise, we have all heard of tarot, is that the perception is that it tells you about the future, it's a card reading or whatever, but how do you bring it into your conversation?
So
and ask it, I mean, even if you're seeking the permission, and even if you're using it as just maybe one picture to kind of reflect on, but how do you weave that into the conversation?
Okay, so in the conversation, I weave it somewhere in the middle, wherein we kind of decide the goal, we understand what the other person is looking for, and in middle of the coaching session, I will pull out the cards and let the cards sit in with the other person's thought process, and kind of share his or her narrative. Up till the point wherein the person doesn't would want me to share any sort of perspective or the guidance that comes after the permission. So that is purely from a perspective wherein during the middle of the session, when the goals have been identified, when the person is also aware that this is not a tarot reading session, this is the conversation infused with some of the other tarot insights or through that element. And in the end, the key takeaways are also taken by the person, not just to tarot, but the overall conversation that has happened in whatever time that we had. So it is just a part of it, not like a 60-minute sort of agenda-driven thing.
May I also offer my experience of, I do use tarot cards sometimes in coaching sessions, but I mostly use them to help the coachee get over some kind of stuckness that we've reached in the conversation. And sometimes I find that coachees struggle to express something in a way that might be helpful, or if there is just we're going round and round the same thing and not being able to achieve a breakthrough, I will often suggest to them that can we look at a few pictures, that could perhaps harness your subconscious and help you articulate this in a way that is meaningful. And then, whether or not they're familiar with the tarot, the cards themselves are so powerful, the imagery is so powerful. I let them choose a card and then reflect on, similar to what Ruchika's process was, reflect on what it means to them, what is it saying to them. And then, that helps the narrative go further. So just use it as a crutch or a tool. But I never, so far, I've never offered my own interpretation or insight on the card to the coachee. Curious to know if any of you do that, or is that, advised, or just sort of sharing. Thanks, Ruchika.
You're most welcome. So
one thing which I'm picking from Priya is that, we let the client pick the card, which is also my experience of getting a tarot reading, that
Yeah.
it's my energy and my intuition of which card to pick, and then it follows. Although in this session, Ruchika, you picked out the card for
Mhm.
us. And
Yeah.
also tarot readings have always been one-on-one,
Mhm.
whereas you picked out a card for us, and then you asked the entire group to apply it to themselves.
Yes.
So that's the difference I'm seeing. I wonder if you have any comments on that.
Sure. So I'll help you with that. So how tarot really works is it's all about the energies and the vibes. Either you let the coherent pull out the cards for themselves based on their energy, or the tarot reader pulls out post centering the energy of the other person, yourself. So it is also very intuitive one. It is also the experiential tarot reader as well. So it works both ways. Wherein the person also pulls out the card if at all it is in person, and if at all the tarot reader is very comfortable with that. In the online setup, it can't really happen wherein the other person is pulling out the card. I would really love to have that sort of virtual reality happening in like right now or in future, but it works both ways. It also depends on the tarot reader's comfort in sharing the card based on the energies, because if at all there are so many readings lined up in a day, so one really has to kind of cleanse the cards or like pull out the other person's energy. So it is really dependent on the tarot reader's comfort and the overall how the session is happening with the tarot client. Okay, I think I'm seeing some chats over here. So, like I just mentioned in the beginning, tarot card is one of the reflective cards only. Although we say that it is a form of divination, yes, it is a reflective deck of cards wherein people reflect on it. People kind of do some conversation or inner dialogue with themselves. How you do that? Either you pull out a card and the other person interprets, or they ask the tarot reader, in this case me, or let's just say Priya, to help them decode. Because if you are so stuck, then the other person also still will ask some relevant questions through the cards and not fully interpret for them, because it then will become the agenda of the tarot reader and not the coach's agenda. I hope now that answers Priya's question as well, and the person who kind of asked right now. So Nanda mentioned there are so many cards to choose. Which one? So there are so many cards that it is hard to choose. Yes. Interestingly, yes. And a lot of times I also hear this question from people that how would you know that this card is for me? Or how would you know that that card is not for me? I would say that when we try to put logic in any form of creative element or something which is so intuitive, then we also defeat the purpose, right, of not letting our subconscious mind or intuition also play its role. At times, the card may not resonate. I'm not saying it will resonate. At times, it may not resonate. But when we see situations after some time, or when we think through it at later point of time, some or the other patterns will emerge. So immediately, not necessary, it might resonate. Okay. It's the play of energies. Thanks, Vanita. And
Ruchika,
yeah.
so I have a question, may I?
Yeah, absolutely, please.
So that reflect, reimagine, redesign. So do you keep that lens as the constant and keep pick cards, or you ask different questions in different sessions?
So It is not a constant thing. Reflect, reimagine, and recreate. It is purely based on the coaching session, how the session is being driven, and with the overall flow of the conversation. No, this is not a constant thing. This reflect, reimagine, and recreate is my coaching model, which I've introduced in this one, given the constant of 60 minutes that we had. So reflect is all about just reflecting on the situation, the challenges, the obstacles, flipping the situation, which is reimagine, and recreating, like now taking charge. It's not a constant thing.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any questions, or would anybody like to share their perspective? So Patricia mentioned.
I will. Oh, sorry. I will just say that I think that the tarot cards are like very helpful as a tool. Given that there are a lot of cultures that will take this as a like some kind of mystic or magical whatever related to darkness. That was my conception many years ago. Because somebody said it and I have probably a wrong belief about it. Now I know that, I mean, I use these. I don't know how to read these cards, but I had it in the past when somebody was reading it to me, and I think it's a very interesting and very accurate tool. But in the coaching, given that we can never put a map into the other person's life or whatever, we can only listen and make an agreement that this session is going to be blah, 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 whatever. I would say that I will use it as a tool, and I will leave the person, I will leave the interpretation to the person. And I think it's really good to ask questions, but only giving the answer that the person, or not the answer, but whatever perspective the person will have when she or he chooses the card. So that's how I will use it, but I'm not a title reader anyway, but it's a good tool. I think it's an amazing tool to use.
No, thank you so much. And yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing that. And would like to reaffirm the same, that it is the narrative that is created by the coach in this case and the interpretation. So we all just experience that same card, different connotations, right? So each and everybody will have their narrative, will craft their stories around it. Where a coach can play a vital role is not sharing the interpretation, still asking the questions that the person can make sense from the cards. So this is just one of the tool, like reflective cards, and not a fortune telling session. And yes, the objective has to be made clear in advance with the coachee. And thank you so much, everybody who joined today's session. And it was great to see different messages coming out from you all. Would leave you with one last thought about dandelions, which is a weed, which is a flower, but technically a weed. It says harnessing the power of single dandelion seed, in this case, tarot card, seeing the infinite possibilities. So the image that you are seeing is also dandelion flowers, infinite possibilities. So with that, I would just wrap up the session. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ruchika.
Thank you.